Leading tree care professional.
What's really going on? From conservative political insiders. AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's ChrisXradio.
What we need right now is a clear message to the people of this country. This message must be read in every newspaper, heard on every radio, seen on every television. This message must resound throughout the entire interlink.
And now, your host.
I believe this is going to be our finest hour.
Chris X.
They got auditing going on everywhere. A new report revealing how the city of Houston is spending their money. The Democrats hate the audits. Man, do they hate audits. Good afternoon. Welcome to your Trump Day edition of Chris X Radio. I'm already screwed up because I tell you, remember for the last 4 years we had the dude that didn't ever take questions ever, and then now we're right back to where we were. Well, obviously it's different, but Trump taking questions in the White House every day. He just finished taking questions after, by the way, Tulsi Gabbard was confirmed. We'll get into that. But it's just amazing watching the difference. And the Democrats do not like real presidents. They like puppets that go sleep on a beach in Rehoboth while they sit around and do bureaucratic, underhanded things. And when somebody comes in and says, hey, we're actually going to look at what's going on here and do the right thing, oh, they lose their minds. They're losing their minds, and they're singing their stupid songs. And if I hear Jasmine Crockett one more time, I cannot stand that woman. She talk about a terrible representation from Texas. Her going, Elon Musk, he lied yesterday. I like how she went straight up hood red once she got elected. I saw the videos of her on the campaign trail, and she was completely different. Oh, it's funny. Somebody getting elected and acting different, huh? Especially a Democrat. But yeah, now she's all sister girl, if you ever saw Undercover Brother, which is a great movie, by the way. With Eddie Griffin, that was funny. Denise Richards in it. Was it anyway? She is definitely all sister girl. And Elon Musk, he admitted he lied, or maybe he said he made a mistake and he wanted to correct. He says we're not going to bat 1,000, and maybe we want to correct it when mistakes happen. That was a mistake. Yeah, it was the $50 million worth of condoms going to Gaza. So it turns out that didn't happen. It went to Mozambique. So it's still, the premise is still the same. But they don't care. Oh, man, we got you on a technicality. Take that, Elon Musk, you multi-billionaire. Watching these people lose. Anyway, okay, so I should get back. Let me start over here. Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to Chris X Radio. I'm the aforementioned X-Man, along with Captain Jack, who has once again assumed control of the airwaves. He will maintain control of these airwaves for the next 2 hours as we come bearing that gift beyond price that is almost free. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the spirit of talk radio filled with dirtbags and do-gooders and, boy, you just name it. I have to admit, though, watching Elon Musk in the Oval Office answer questions with President Trump was pretty entertaining, especially with the little boy. He had one of his kids. What is he? How many kids does Elon Musk have? It's like 10 or 12. He actually cares about this country, and he's not a grifter. What a concept, huh? What a concept. But, of course, because he does, he is enemy numero dos, because enemy numero uno is the big orange gorilla at the desk. That's right, that guy who's answering questions, doing what he does. And we got ourselves a constitutional crisis going on over here. Apparently, now that we have a real president, it's a constitutional crisis. It wasn't one when the last dude who slept for 4 years and didn't do anything other than pardon his corrupt family and his corrupt kid and some killers and a few other people, and went around just grifting money left and right. But apparently, that wasn't a constitutional crisis. It's a constitutional crisis when you bring somebody in and they start looking into where you're spending taxpayer dollars, and the Democrats have lost their minds. Not one of them has addressed the actual misspending. Yes, them talking about a person getting money for years, 150 years old, duplicate Social Security numbers, still getting money. The Democrats are wholly uninterested in that. They finally changed the narrative just a tiny little bit today, saying, we appreciate having a legitimate audit of these numbers. But until then, we can't have a billionaire like Elon Musk coming in and looking at the numbers. He's going to try to take your identity and go on the dark web. And what? I love watching the fact that they will come up with anything other than what's actually occurring. Anyway, so there we go. So I'm sorry to inform you today that we're in the middle of a constitutional crisis, and it's really brought on. In fact, I guess the vast majority of it would be the fact that this happened right here, because once this happens, it's all over at that point.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, I did.
I'll never hit so hard in love.
Constitutional crisis.
All I wanted was to break your walls. All you ever did was wreck me.
Oh, Trump is a wrecking ball. Yeah, you.
Wreck me. I put you high up in the sky.
Whoever did this is a genius.
You're not coming down. It slowly turned. You let me burn, and now we're ashes on the ground.
Reports are the 150-year-old Mitch McConnell.
Oh, just walk away. I will always want.
Could be Nancy Pelosi or Maxine Waters. I don't know.
I can't live a life running for my life. I will always want you. I came in
Like a wrecking ball.
I'll never get so hard in love.
All right, I won't play the whole song. I'll say this is a whole lot better than what the Democrats are singing in opposition to Elon Musk. Well, it is so funny. The Elon Musk arc is great. He is the Tony Stark of our time. He's launching rockets. He's got his boring company. He provides satellite for people in, tragedy-struck areas with hurricanes and floods and things. He does so many things for so many people. But somehow, because of Donald Trump, he's now sneaking into the government and go steal all our damn money. What? I would say I can't, but I just can't. All right, if you want to join us today, by the way, there's a lot going on. In fact, I laid out a few things, but trying to keep up is going to be tough. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738 is the number. We'll tell you about Tulsi Gabbard. She was officially confirmed just a little while ago, and she's already been sworn in. She's officially the Director of National Intelligence. Everybody was worried about whether she was going to get confirmed. Looks like RFK Jr. will be confirmed tomorrow, I think. They're still jumping through the hurdles, but he's getting through all of them. He's got the votes to get in, so he's going to be confirmed if they ever get to that part. I'm waiting for Kash Patel to get confirmed. That's going to be fun and interesting. Anyway, she became President Trump's 14th cabinet confirmation following a 52-48. The vote was right down party lines with the exception of none other than Cocaine Mitch. Well, I'm going to say he's the turtle. So Mitch McConnell opposed Gabbard. Now, wait, here's the best part. Let's go back 5 years. People are losing their mind on social media that Mitch McConnell voted against Tulsi Gabbard. Let's go back 5 years and look at that headline again. You talk about living in bizarre times. Let's go back just 4 years. Wait, you're mad at a Republican for voting against Tulsi? Now, here's the thing. I would have voted for her. I like Tulsi. I think she's sharp. I think she's going to be an excellent director of national intelligence. But you want to know how much the world has changed? Well, RFK's up next. And then Kash Patel. Anyway, just funny. So I can't get too mad at old Turtle. But and in all honesty, I mean, in all fairness, he probably didn't even know he was voting. He got he's got a broke leg? I think he fell down the stairs. I know that. And he probably broke his leg like the judge. They're somewhere around the same age, but the judge is a whole lot healthier. Seems a whole lot healthier than Mitch McConnell. He's got MS. So, but seeing him in a wheelchair, they're wheeling him around, and then Nancy Pelosi in her wheelchair or with a cane, walking around because she fell and hurt herself too. These octogenarians, are they octogenarians yet? Or are they just septuagenarians? I don't know. They're old though. So, and like I said, my question to you, which should be pretty simple, do you think Donald Trump is going to get all of his nominees confirmed? At this point, I believe every one of them are going to be confirmed. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. President Trump earlier today had a lengthy phone call with Vladimir Putin of Russia. And he said him and the Russian leader agreed to immediately begin negotiations to end the war in Ukraine. He also spoke to Voldemort. Somebody call him Volodymyr? I don't know. I just call him Voldemort because it sounds like Voldemort. So Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, the former comedian, actor, dancer, who doesn't know where half the money went that Joe Biden sent to him, doesn't know where half of it went. But they're working towards, getting rid of, ending the war. And why didn't Joe Biden do this? The same reason he didn't secure the border. One, he didn't do anything. All he did was sit around and do some executive orders and sign pieces of paper that other people handed to him, the radicals he was surrounded by. There you go. An agent inside the FBI has been caught tipping off the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua members, allowing them to evade capture by ICE. I don't know if you heard this story. There was going to be a raid on these Tren de Aragua, gangbangers illegally here in America, and somebody from the FBI, an FBI agent, tipped them off so they could escape before they got there. Now, it could have been a whole lot worse, but fortunately it wasn't, and, well, there you go. I can dig into that as well. Inflation, oh, God, Trump is already killing us. Why is he killing us with this inflation? We knew this was going to happen. Tariffs, inflation, taxes, every time. Oh, wait. This is from Joe Biden. Inflation once again surged higher in January. Today, the Department of Labor said that the Consumer Price Index rose 0.5% in January from the prior month, much more than expected compared with a year ago. Consumer prices are up 3%. If you haven't bought anything lately, well, then you may not realize everything costs a ton. So thanks to 4 years of Bidenomics, things are going great. It's fantastic. It's huge. It's horrible. And Donald Trump didn't fix it on day one, so therefore it is his fault. 100% all Trump's fault. He said day one. He's like on day 22. So sorry. What are we, 3 weeks into the Trumpocalypse Part 2? And he's in there taking questions left and right. And then Voldemort, Zelensky, where's my money? I'm glad to see that he's negotiating with Putin. We'll see what happens on Saturday with the ceasefire in Israel and Hamas. All right, 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. Let's take a break. We'll come back, pick up with Bart out in Spring first. If you want to join us, 281-558-5738. I'm Chris X. We're just getting rolling. Don't you go anywhere. We're kicking in the door like a wrecking ball. 281-558-5738. We'll be right back.
Call Chris X Radio now. 281-558-KSEV.
Plumbing emergencies never happen at a convenient time. Nix Plumbing offers free estimates and free second opinions. Call Nix Plumbing and Sewer Services, 713-868-9907, or visit us on the web, nixplumbing.com.
MPL 38548.
With hundreds of wines at prices so low, ooh, baby, Specs Huge Wine Sale is the place to go. All these savings will put a smile on your face. A Specs love story you can't replace. The selection is vast, the taste sublime. Stock up now, it's the perfect time. Light the candles, make it a date. Specs Huge Wine Sale is here. Let's celebrate.
Specs Huge Wine Sale going on now. Specs, cheers to savings.
You know, where we go in life matters, and what we do matters, and we know that taking the wrong road won't produce the best outcomes. Hi, I'm Kathy with Baker Mortgage, and we want you to take the right path when it comes to your mortgage. You know, we live in a world of information overload, but always consider the source, and these are not generally going to be from your big bank or a random offer that comes across your screen. Remember, you're always going to get a better deal on one that you go looking for than one that comes looking for you. You need to deal with somebody who gives a you-know-what, whether or not you're happy in the end. At Baker Mortgage, we do it right. We haven't been around for 68 years because we're lucky. We don't sell CDs, insurance, or anything else. We just provide a great mortgage experience. Isn't that what you're looking for? Call us at Baker Mortgage. I promise you'll be glad you did. We're at 281-313-MOVE or go directly to bakermortgage.com.
Equal housing lender. License number 263213.
Be a Planner Show host Nathan Ross wants to remind you, please consider all the syndication terms of your private real estate partnership. By understanding the syndication math, Nathan can help you assess the benefits of ownership. Visit beaplanner.com or tune in each Friday mornings at 11 and Sunday at 7 a.m. for the Be a Planner Show with Nathan Ross, CPA, on KSEV.
Let's be honest, no one ever thinks about their garage until it stops working. The problem is, worn out springs, cables, and rollers can break before they give any sign of trouble. Don't wait until a simple garage door repair becomes a major problem. If your garage is noisy, if bugs are getting in, or if it struggles to open, your garage door is in need of repairs. Recommended all over Houston, Garage Door Doctor is your trusted partner for all your garage door needs. Every time your garage door opens and closes, there is wear and tear taking place. If not properly serviced each year, a simple fix could turn into a costly repair. Let the experts at Garage Door Doctor tune up your garage door and keep it running for a lifetime. The Garage Door Doctor motto, honest, quality work at a fair price, isn't just words. It's the Garage Door Doctor promise. Because when you're with Garage Door Doctor, you're family. We never employ subcontractors to do our work. Our staff, including our own family members, will treat your garage as their own. Schedule an appointment today at garagedoordoctor.biz or call today.
And now, back to Chris X Radio on the Voice of Texas.
It's still my favorite rock song with bagpipes. I think it may be the only rock song with bagpipes. I don't know. There may be others. Welcome back to Chris X Radio here on your Trump Day edition. Glad to have you here as we're find ourselves in the middle of a constitutional crisis. How dare a president try to govern the country the way he wants to when he has a mandate, was elected by the vast majority of the people, and he's doing what he said he was going to do. How dare him attempt to do that? What is he thinking? The Democrats will stop him at all costs or do everything they can to stop him. Anyway, Tulsi Gabbard has been officially confirmed by the Senate and sworn in as Director of National Intelligence. This is going to be interesting to watch her arc as the Director of National Intelligence after what the Democrats have done to her for the last few years. 281-558-KSEV if you want to join us. It is our Trump Day edition, which used to be Hump Day, but now it's Trump Day because it makes it more fun. 281-558-5738. Let's go right to the phones. Pick up with Bart, who's patiently holding in Spring.
Got to be
Bart,
first again. Thanks.
Well, thanks for hanging on, Bart. Welcome to the program.
I love that. You kind of stole my thunder there with Tulsi Gabbard after all the crap they started. She had the gall to go run against Biden and expose Harris. They put her on a terror watch list and no-fly. So she's got a little axe to grind against these 48 senators that voted against her that are Democrats. But I think they know that she's going to be out, and they can't hide behind this. Well, Musk wasn't ever elected. He was never appointed. Well, guess what? She was appointed, and she has been confirmed. And she'll be over intelligence. She'll have rights to everything that he's got in Doge already.
Yeah, no, that's true. And you're right. After Hillary Clinton calling her, what do they call her, a Russian stooge?
Asset.
A Russian asset, yeah, that. And then, of course, them, when she goes against them, what do? The Democrats play dirty. They use the agencies against the American people, including elected politicians. And at that time, I think she was still in their party. They forced her all the way, not only to go independent, but to become a Republican. That's amazing.
I was telling the judge when he was asked if there are any Democrats I liked, I told him I liked Tulsi Gabbard way back when 2020 was running. But I think the situation with Patel calling him a whistleblower because he talked about the corruption in the FBI, well, this type of leaking stuff with Trende Agua, that's another one. He gets confirmed. He and Tulsi are going to go right after these SOBs.
Yeah, and that's what they're being confirmed to do. 100%, that's what Trump wants to do.
The Democrats know that they can't hide behind, well, like Musk, they keep saying he was never elected or confirmed. Well, guess what? Tulsi and Patel both will be. And they'll have all the information access that anybody can say, and the judges can just shut up. The one up in Rhode Island saying they don't have a right to this information. Of course they do.
Well, once again, the Democrat Party is the party that just allowed a group of unelected bureaucrats run our country for 4 years because the other old guy that slept for 4 years and laid on a beach was clearly not in charge and not with full faculties. So once again, they can say not elected or whatever. It doesn't matter. A president has the ability to appoint people to do things. And the fact that they're saying this just shows how pathetic they are. But the Democrats don't care about facts. It's about sound bites. It's about going after, hit pieces. They're flamethrowers. That's what all they're doing is throwing these Molotov cocktails, trying to get something to stick so they can try to slow them down. Because you're right, that's exactly why these people are being nominated to go after the deep state, and they're getting confirmed because elections do have consequences. We're now seeing how important it was for the Republicans to maintain the House, but also to have picked up the Senate. It's a new day in America. It's going to be a really interesting time in the next few months.
All they've got left are the courts and the judges that they've been appointed, and they have no grounds to say these people don't have access to this information. Of course they do. They're going to lose in court, too.
Watching these judges come out and say, you're the director of the Treasury, you're not allowed to actually do anything.
How absurd.
If you're the president, okay, so some appointed judge, a federal judge, can just go through and tell the president what he can and cannot do. Okay, and like you said, they know they're not going to win. It's all about slowing them down so they can try to get their footing.
Because they know they're going to lose. Biden did it all the time, did stuff he knew he was going to lose in court anyway as soon as they challenged it.
Yep, no, they didn't care, not one bit. So
thanks, Chris.
Thank you for the call, Bart. Appreciate it. No, you're right on. By the way, President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, told Fox News that he and the Department of Homeland Security Director Kristi Noem, they already have an idea who it was who leaked to the Trende Aragua gang, and they're not only going to lose their job and their pension, but he said they could also face jail time. In other words, they're going after them. Pam Bondi said she's going after them. We're starting to see exactly what you were talking about, Bart. You've got Kristi Noem. She's Homeland Security Director. You got Tom Homan, the border czar. You've got Pam Bondi, and then, throw in Kash Patel here before long. And like I said, it is going to be a wrecking ball. Absolutely 100% wrecking ball. All right, 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. Let's go to Chris in Spring. Chris, thanks for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
Chris X Radio. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you today, Chris?
I'm great, Chris. The Trump-Musk combination reminds me much of the Robert Edward Lee and Thomas Stonewall Jackson combination. They put fear down all the families in Washington, D.C. This is our Chancellorsville. We have to get the deficits down. And quite frankly, the House is putting out a $4.5 trillion deficit. Go to hell, Republicans. Take off another trillion. Pay the debt down. You do not want the grandchildren eating dirt. Please, boomers, please. I know your 401ks at 5X because you thought you were loyal. No, these people hate us and they hate you. We have to be better. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for the call, Chris. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think your assessment is pretty solid. They're sending shivers down the spines of every Democrat. Well, the ones that have spines and then the ones that don't really have spines, but whatever. They're going crazy over Elon Musk. They are terrified of what that man is doing. They know he can't be bought. That's why they hated Trump. They can't buy him, and they can't lawfare him into oblivion, and they can't do it to Elon Musk either. So it's got to be something else. It has to be something other than actually doing what's good for the country, because that's the last thing they want to do. The Democrats, they don't care about the country. They do what they want to do, claiming it's all about the country and about the people while doing everything they can that harms the people. They really don't care. All they care about is their power and their grift, and their grift is shortly coming up. Looking at all of the grift coming out of Doge, what they've discovered so far, is already amazing. How much money, how many trillions of dollars over the years have they been embezzling? Have they been paying off people and doing God knows what? It's not just Democrats. It's just mostly Democrats. You can tell by the ones screaming and barking so loudly. I mean, there was the fake Republicans like Bill Kristol and those guys, but as far as in Congress right now, well, we'll see. Because if they keep looking into these things, oops, going to find out where that money was going. Find out that 150-year-old people are getting paid. Find out that multiple Social Security numbers are getting paid. Finding out they're paying terrorists. Finding out they're paying things that are on the do not pay list. And they've been doing it for years. It's like, wait, what? What are we doing here? And then if you attempt to look at it, no, you're not allowed to. We're too busy hiring IRS agents to look at your $600 Venmo transaction. Yeah, that's where we're at. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. I'm Chris X. Let's take a break. Come back, get more of your calls on the other side. Oh, man, I've barely touched what I'm going to get into today. But I have a feeling we're going to talk about a lot. All right, 281-558-KSEV. We'll be right back. Don't you go anywhere.
The resistance is futile. Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio.
For many years, the Pine Box has been helping families gain insight into the often confusing and extremely expensive task of arranging a loved one's funeral. I have worked with Pine Box in the death of 2 family members because I know I can trust Chip Beresford at the Pine Box, he's the owner, to be sure that he walks me through that process and that I am prepared for the funeral and that I get the quality I seek without breaking the budget. Because it's a very difficult thing. No one wants to feel like a cheapskate handling a funeral of a loved one. But you also can't afford to go broke either. Funerals are statistically the 3rd largest expense in someone's life. The Pine Box sells the same caskets and funeral merchandise that is offered at funeral homes, but at a tremendous savings, and delivery is immediate and free within the Houston area. Visit their website, thepinebox.com, or call Chip directly at 1-888-PINE-BOX. That's 1-888-PINE-BOX. I trusted them, and you can. The Pine Box.
This is Kevin O'Hara with O'Hara & Company Real Estate. Our country's founding fathers drafted a document that is the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their powers from the consent of the governed. My friends at O'Hara & Company Real Estate, we believe we're at a precipice in time where we must take back our country. We must stand up for our freedoms or lose them forever. Please don't sit idle and let it slip away. Don't let anyone force you to do something you choose not to. As JFK said, if not us, who? If not now, when? If you're looking to buy or sell real estate, give O'Hara & Company Real Estate a call at 281-373-3393, 281-373-3393, or look us up on the web at o'harare.com. I'm Kevin O'Hara. God bless America, and God bless Texas.
This is Jack Gonzalez, and if you're looking for great home health or hospice care for you or a loved one, then join me and Phoenix Cannaball for the Avatar Home Health and Hospice Show this and every Sunday at 12 noon here on AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author, executive producer, and star in a brand new Hollywood documentary called The Retirement Deception. In this film, we traveled over 20,000 miles interviewing real Americans who've retired successfully with a great lifestyle and peace of mind. They share their stories on how they get more retirement income with the same dollar saved, and the money's never at risk if the market crashes. That's right, if the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even the super wealthy are shifting money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money saved, call to talk to a specialist and get a free copy of this brand new movie at 1-800-451-8989. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you can get it completely free. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. Call right now, 1-800-451-8989. That's 1-800-451-8989. Again, 1-800-451-8989.
And now, we return you to your regularly scheduled dose of common sense. Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio.
That's why the Democrats are so angry. Maybe this is their last dance with Mary Jane. Yeah, you like that segue? It's actually kind of. But this is a great song. This is my favorite Tom Petty song. And he's got a lot of great songs. Welcome back to Chris X Radio. I'm the aforementioned X-Man along with Captain Jack. We've got this segment and one more remaining for the first hour. And then we got hour number 2 locked and loaded and ready to roll. So we'll go back and get some more of your phone calls if you want to join us. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. You got Tulsi Gabbard has now been not only confirmed but sworn in as the director of national intelligence. You got Trump had a long conversation with Vladimir Putin today, and he talked to Volodymyr Zelensky, working on ending the Russia-Ukraine war. That's a good sign. According to Tom Homan, looks like they've identified who the FBI agent was who tipped off members of the violent Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Think about that. You trust your government? You got members of the FBI tipping off people that are horrible monsters that do horrible things to people so they don't get arrested in America for political purposes, and you think they're going to treat you fairly? Yeah, it's going to happen. Good luck with that. And one last final, gift from the Biden administration. Remember when inflation was transitory? Remember that? Remember when it was going down? Remember when the everything was better, it was good, the jobs were coming in? Everything has been revised to be all of the jobs that they claim to have created are gone. They were all revised down. Inflation is up again. Was there a single month of the Biden administration that didn't have inflation? And they kept saying, inflation's going down, it's going down, from the high created during the Biden administration. Yeah. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. Let's go to Crash, listening in Pearland. Crash, thanks for hanging on. Welcome to the Voice of Texas.
Afternoon, Chris. How are you?
I'm good today. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I think I'm coming down with something, though. I'm starting to sound like you.
Uh-oh, yeah. I'm still fighting whatever this is. I think I may have that flu going around. I don't know what it is. We got the man flu happening.
Yeah, it's through that ESPN. Hey, the one thing I was wondering, I heard some guys talking at work today, and they're like, yeah, Doge has already saved us $1 trillion. And then, I was like, guys, I don't think it's near that much. It might be maybe $500 million, but I don't think it's anywhere near $1 trillion. And then the other thing I was wondering, do you know what the statistics are on Tom Homan's department, how many he's caught, how many they've deported? And I know the Democrats are trying to put a stop to all that, not to mention all the internal mess, but it seems like there's a lot of moving parts. And, I mean, we're only 23 days into the administration, and they're already moving and creating issues. I mean, I don't see any reason why Elon Musk can't go through it. I mean, he's a third-party advisor. He's not necessarily bipartisan, but the other thing is he's there for one purpose, And if you want somebody to look at the books and say, this is wrong and why are we doing this, then you want somebody that has a business, model behind them and a successful one. And he has not only one, but I think he has more than three. Honestly, I mean, the two big ones are Tulsa and SpaceX, but I imagine he's probably got more business ventures than that because he's a busy man. But I just want to get your thoughts.
Yeah, Elon Musk he's got SpaceX, he has Starlink, he's got the boring company that drills the holes in the ground, he's got Tesla, of course, he has a bunch of them. So, and he's had multiple businesses he's sold over the years as well. He's a pretty smart guy. The reason the Democrats are losing their mind is because he's right and they know it, and they don't want to see their grift come to an end. So there's that. So, but as far as, I agree with you 100%. Donald Trump has the right and the authority to appoint people to do the things that he campaigned on doing that the American people overwhelmingly elected him to do. That's why the only people upset about this are the Democrats. It's not getting any traction anywhere else, because as soon as we start learning about, $50 million in condoms going to Zimbabwe or wherever the hell it went, you start going, okay, what's going on here? And what are they doing with this money? And then you find out that people are getting paid that are 150 years old, Social Security money, and multiple duplicate numbers. And I don't know what the actual number is at this point on what because as you said, it's only day 23. So this is still relatively new, but it's well over $1 billion that they've already had. In fact, I don't even know what the amount is because it's so soon, what they've identified. And then, of course, they're now fighting a judge, which one judge ruled they can't do this, and another judge ruled that the president, of course, has the authority in the executive branch to go through there and look at the money being spent and stop spending, some of this frivolous stuff. It's foolish to think anything otherwise. But that being said, those numbers will come out. As far as Tom Homan's going, yesterday I covered on the program, certain border sectors are down 96%, 89% on how many people are trying to come into our country. That's 3 weeks into the Trump administration from the Biden administration. So that's massive on just people trying to come in. They're not even trying near to the degree. We were at this time last year, we were having over 8,000 people a day, and now you're looking at less than 300. So that the people that are being caught, yes, they've obviously caught people and they've deported some of them, but to those numbers, it's way too early to tell because we will only get them once they kind of get those numbers out and we can actually get access to them. It's also new. It's hard to believe, Crash, that it's only been, as you mentioned, 23 days since the guy was sworn in, and look at the impact he's having already. It's kind of astonishing.
Yeah, and I mean, you got the typical losers like Hakeem Jeffries and Pocahontas losing their minds over it. I mean, she was out in front of that building today, talking about he can't do this. Well, the Treasury Secretary can do whatever he wants. It's his department. He can manage it however he sees fit. And then,
they get their little activist judges.
Yeah, and I think Hakeem Jeffries, I think that dude's just one of the silent grift partners that's always been there. He keeps talking about above the law. Him and Adam Schiff, I think, share weekends together. I'm not sure, but
yeah, thanks for the call, Crash. Probably, there's no telling. But yeah, as far as the grift goes, yeah, they're in on it, no doubt whatsoever. Look at the way, once again, all of these people had nothing to say about Joe Biden being mentally incompetent. They all knew it. They all lied about it. They did not care. They didn't care he's at the beach. They didn't care that he lied about what he can do at the border. They didn't care. All they cared is that he said, it's the Republicans' fault, so we'll blame Republicans. And that didn't resonate with anyone. Only fools and Democrats believe that the Republicans were responsible for the illegal immigration coming into our country for the last 4 years. Joe Biden could have done something about it at any point. He could have done something about the Russia-Ukrainian war at any point. He could have done more regarding the Israeli, Gaza problem going on, the Israeli, Hamas attack. There's so many different things. But then again, the guy was literally a stuffed suit. The guy had very little brain activity going on. He spent over 40% of his presidency on vacation. And the other 60%, he wasn't making the calls. There is no doubt in my mind whatsoever that guy wasn't making any calls or any of the decisions. In fact, I've already been watching some of these reporters, and the foreign leaders talked about calling the White House trying to talk to the president, and they never could get him on the phone. And then he would say, we'll call you back, and they never called him back. In other words, Joe Biden was in charge of nothing. He was in charge of walking out and looking like a buffoon every so often. And he was very good at that. And God bless him, because he was a corrupt old fool. And, well, he pardoned a lot of people. And they lied about, I'm not going to pardon my son. He did that all the way through the election, and then after the election, he pardoned him and the rest of his crime-grifting family. So, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We got Don and Point Blank up next. Don, hang on for me. 281-558-KSEV, 281-558-5738. It's bizarre watching the difference of a president who is active and engaged. We kind of forgot how much Trump was doing last time when he was in office, because Joe Biden did nothing except destroy our country and grift. That's all he did. And lie. He lied a lot. And he had the entire Democrat wing behind him, lying right there with him. Just anything to keep the Republicans out of power. Didn't work out for him in the last election. 281-558-KCV. I'm Chris X. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio on AM 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas.
Chris X here to tell you about Ability Tree Experts. Winter is here. As you know, it's getting colder. It'll be colder again tomorrow. So these weather swings that go from warm. Last week it seemed like spring. Next week it's winter again. Those can trigger those crazy storms. We've got some serious rain this week. Not only do you need to be prepared for these storms, but so do your trees. Ability Tree Experts can come out and inspect your trees for disease and insects, and that's one of the best ways to make sure that they're surviving these crazy storms. It prepares them for the winter, but it also gets them geared up for the spring and the summer, because Lord knows our summers are brutal with that heat. Unhealthy, sick, and ugly trees can make your home less appealing. It also hurts the value of your property, and you don't want your property suffering, curb appeal, but you darn sure don't want old, sick, ugly trees falling and landing on your house or your car, God forbid something worse. With over 40 years of experience, Ability Trees has the expertise to keep your trees strong and healthy. Louis Flory's been helping South Texas homeowners care for their trees for almost a half a century now. I don't think you can find better expertise than that. I can't. Ability Tree Experts can save your trees. They'll keep them strong and healthy. When you prune your trees, you can allow sunlight and fresh air to get under the canopy, right? Well, that helps ensure your trees survive these strong storms and high winds, but they can also go back and spray, they can deep root feed, and they can prune your trees. They can do all of these things. That's what Ability Tree Experts does, and they can take care of all of your tree needs. 281-441-4179. Call them and have Louis Flory come on out and evaluate your trees and develop a custom care plan for your very own livable forest. That's 281-441-4179. Or check out the website, abilitytrees.com. That's abilitytrees.com. I recommend Ability Tree Experts, Houston's leading tree care professionals. 281-441-4179 or abilitytrees.com, and just tell them that the X-Man sent you.
Tune in to the Ray Massey Reverse Mortgage Show each Friday at 1 p.m. and Saturdays at 3 p.m. with Trey Boat Mortgage. Or call Ray directly at 855-266-1600 or online at reversemortgages4Texans.com.
Hi, I'm Don Valentine with John Moore AC, Plumbing, and Electrical. When something breaks, you need help. But most companies charge just to come to your home. Before they even see the problem, there's a fee. I don't get it. Why should you pay them for the chance to earn your business? Not John Moore. Our technician will give you a full, honest explanation of the problem and an estimate for the work. No charge. Free. Call 713-730-2525.
Folks, how many of you feel helpless because our country's heading in the wrong direction? What we can do is vote with our dollars by supporting companies that align with our values. Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative mobile phone provider. It's a better choice than those left-wing cell carriers who support values destroying America. A portion of every dollar that Patriot Mobile earns goes to Christian conservative causes. First Amendment, Second Amendment, sanctity of life, and our military, veterans, first responders. Last year, Patriot Mobile gave over $2.3 million and plan to give even more this year for providing the exact same nationwide coverage as the big mobile carriers. Patriot Mobile not limited to just one network. They have all three of the major carriers, so they provide an industry-leading coverage guarantee. Join me in supporting the cell service that supports our values. Go to patriotmobile.com/KSEV and get free activation with the offer code KSEV. They also have multi-line discounts, military, veterans, first responders. They save even more. So make the switch today. patriotmobile.com/KSEV or call 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT.
Hey all y'all, this is Bill Nash, and I'm excited to invite you to our annual Texas Best Music Fest at Moe's Place in Katy, benefiting Champions Kids Camp, a camp for children who have survived an accident, an illness like cancer, or the loss of a parent or sibling. Our headliners this year include Scotty Alexander, Austin-based singer, songwriter, musician, and recording artist, who was Wayne Newton's music director for 8 years, touring extensively with Wayne. Also performing will be Hayden Baker, gifted guitarist and singer from Katy, and David Lewis, who has played the Opry circuit all over Texas, featuring his mixture of Brad Paisley and George Strait music. And last but not least, we have the Nashes, my son Jimmy, my wife Kimmy, and Billy. No, wait, that's my son's name. Anyway, I'm Bill Nash, and we'll be doing our biggest hits, too. General admission tickets will be available at texasbmf.com. That's texasbmf.com. Help us help these kids by going to championskidscamp.org and become a sponsor. That's Sunday, June 1st at Moe's Place in Katy. Hope to see y'all there.
And now, back to Chris X Radio. Chris X Radio on the Voice of Texas.
And this song has such a good build-up. It'd be like a perfect walk-up song going to bat. Just don't look like the guys in the band in the video. No. I remember correctly, the lead singer is also the guitar player. This dude should have replaced Kevin DeBro for Quiet Riot when he died. And what's weird is looking back, that guy's been dead for, 20, 30 years now? That's really weird when you look back and realize people that you grew up watching and they've been dead 20, 30 years, or some 100 years, or 150 years, and they're still possibly getting paid by the USAID. And Democrats don't want you to look at it or do anything about it. No, you have no authority. Nobody has any authority. Nobody can do anything except us. The foxes guarding the hen house. That is the perfect analogy of the Democrats. They are foxes that guard the hen house. I don't think there's a whole lot of hens left in that house. We're about $36 trillion in debt and hens. All right, welcome back to Chris X Radio. This is the final segment of the first hour. Hour number 2 is locked and loaded, so we get plenty of time to get to more of your phone calls, get to more. There's just so much going on. I was reading during the break. I'll go check out the audio during at the top of the hour. It says that Pam Bondi announces that charges have been filed against the state of New York, Governor Kathy Hochul, and Attorney General Letitia James for failing to enforce immigration law. It says New York has chosen to prioritize illegal aliens over American citizens. It stops today. So I need to learn more about that. I know it's not their job to enforce immigration law, but that being said, if they're a sanctuary city and they're not allowing the feds to do their job, that's a problem. All right, 281-558-KSEV. Let's go to the phones. Pick up with Don, listening in Point Blank. Don, thank you for hanging on. Welcome to Chris X Radio.
All right. Today, you probably know, is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. And
how old would he have been today, Don? Do you know that answer?
He was born in 1809, and he was born on the same day that Charles Darwin was born in England on February 12, 1809.
Wow,
so,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and I just wanted to contrast, Lincoln freed the slaves, Darwin, his bulldog, Thomas Henry Huxley, who promoted evolution. Huxley predicted that the black race, African race, would be exterminated, eliminated by natural selection, I guess. But
it wasn't so natural, but Margaret Sanger tried.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she sure did. And so did Adolf Hitler with the Jews. And but several years ago, do you remember the late Christopher Hitchens?
Oh, yeah, he was a big-time atheist, but he was a pretty smart guy.
He was, but he said something incredibly dumb on Sean Hannity's show on TV. And I remember that, and then it's on YouTube now, but Sean Hannity was debating with him about God and whether God existed and Christian faith. And Hitchens, not only an atheist, he called himself an anti-theist.
Yeah, that's right.
And like Richard Dawkins, another big evolutionist from England, if you speak with a British accent, you're supposed to be intellectual. So anyway, Sean Hannity was saying about all the good the Christian faith has done with the hospital, schools they founded, everything like that. And Hitchens said, oh, I think, the government does more for the world and the poor and the needy than the church ever does. And Hitchens uses an example, USA.
Boy, Tom, that answer didn't age well, did it?
No, it sure didn't. Well, I don't know if you remember, when I was in grad school at UT Austin, there was a lady there. She was famous. Remember Madeleine Murray O'Hare?
Oh, yeah, she's a big atheist as well.
Well,
wasn't she murdered?
Not only an atheist, she was a communist.
Yeah, she was, yeah. Didn't she, I can't remember what happened. I know she died. Wasn't she murdered?
Yes. She was afraid to go back to Maryland for being murdered because, she said they'd kill her if she went back to Maryland. She was the responsible one, and her son, Bill Murray, not the actor, but another, for getting prayer out of school. But she was murdered, and her older son and his wife were kidnapped and murdered in Austin. I think it wasn't nothing to do with her atheism. It was after some gold or money she had or something, but she was kidnapped and murdered.
I remembered it was pretty weird. Thanks for the call, Don. Yeah, I remember it was a weird situation, her getting murdered. And, I wonder, that's got to be a bleak. I mean, anytime you're facing mortality, it's a terrible thing, or at least, but especially if you're an atheist, that's got to be really bad. All right, gang, hour number 2 is up next. Thanks for the call, Don.